I want to talk about Charlie Kirk really quick. We need to pray about the entire situation.
Yes, absolutely.
And so Charlie Kirk was doing one of his Turning Point USA, just talking to college students, and he was shot. He's assassinated, shot through the neck. And he's been very vocal about his faith. He's been speaking the truth in a lot of ways, encouraging men to be men, encouraging men to have families, openly talking about the importance of believing in Jesus Christ and faith. And he does very well at these arguments, just proving that. But first, you see all these. The issue that we have is, I got a doctorate. I value education, but our educational establishments are corrupt. They're corrupt, and here you have, it's detrimental to society. People are getting killed. It's gone too far, and it's the woke mind. Elon Musk has been talking about this. The woke mind virus. This is showing how dangerous it is. We got to stop wokeness and all this campus radicalism. Trump has been putting some pressure on Harvard and some of the other schools, but he's the first president to do that. We cannot have our young people go to learn and just get indoctrinated in radical leftism, get so full of hate. I mean, this foolishness. Oh, we got a cry room for 24-year-old kids because they heard a different opinion. And it's like we're coddling these people, and now people are dying. And we have these church shootings. It's just, they try to put it on us. Oh, dangerous right-wing extremists. They're the ones that are shooting and killing people. 9 times out of 10, it's a leftist or a liberal. We're the ones getting killed. I think Charlie Kirk is a martyr, honestly. That's why they killed him. So, we need to say this is unacceptable. We're not going to tolerate this anymore. You're not going to corrupt our educational institutions anymore. We're not going to let you have our kids. I'll close with this. I'm going to shift on to the message today. But Rush Limbaugh was talking about it. Rush Limbaugh was like golfing. He's known these guys for like 30 years, And it's like 20 years ago, it's like, yeah, Rush, you tell them. Yeah, Rush, that's really great. And now there's like, you don't really believe in that anymore, Rush. It's like, what happened to his buddies? They sent their kids to liberal schools, and the kids came back woke and indoctrinated their parents in it. And then the parents turned, firebrand conservatives 20 years ago at the golf course, but now they're, it's got to stop. And people are dying, people are getting killed, and we just can't tolerate it anymore. And that's a lot of money we put into to schools and education. This is not education. I mean, they're inflaming people, and they're motivating them to commit violent acts, and it has to stop. While I was driving along, I was thinking about the death of Charlie Kirk, and I was about to start crying, weeping. It's like, I didn't know the guy. I would listen to him time to time, probably on a weekly basis. I thought what he's doing is good, and he's very vocal about the gospel. I think our faith informs all aspects of our life. So this is he's got a worldview formed and shaped by the scriptures, and he's out there advocating it. And you just very courageous. It's like, what's wrong with people? You sit at it; they don't have to come on the table and talk to them. And, I watch these debates sometimes. You see these people just yelling and screaming. And it's like, why can't we be civil? He's civil. Let's just talk about this. This is my opinion. This is your opinion. But that's unacceptable. It's like, well, why am I about to cry over this? Because that wasn't the focus of what he's doing. But he's a Christian martyr, and he is vocal about his faith. He deals with political issues. I've been thinking, it's like, in a certain way, I don't care about politics, but they're going, you got the pro-life issue, which is a moral issue. We see these threats to freedom of speech. With the super, what's his name? Stephen Frecht. He's up in, they're trying to close down all of his Christian concerts in Canada. It's just, there's so much pressure on us, Like with my YouTube channel, they're just pursuing me to close me down. I have some success, and then everything I work and build for is censorship. This is the United States of America. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these people saying telling me what I can and cannot say and what I can and cannot think. I'm tired of it. It's wearying, and then they're killing us. This isn't the first time. They go into Sutherland, these crazed liberal maniacs I mean, and they act like it doesn't happen. You know, well, these liberal whack jobs go out and kill 20, 30 people, and then it's memory hold. It's gone. Steve Scalise, the Unabomber. Left-wing maniac killing people for years across the country for his left-wing cause. There's violent extremists among. It's a bigger problem. Like I was saying, it's like 9 out of 10 of these shootings and attacks are liberals. Every once in a blue moon, there's a crazy conservative, but it's almost always liberals. And yet, you know, whenever a liberal can, you know, if there's like, what was it, Charleston in South Carolina, you know, a bunch of liberals jumped on this guy driving a car during a riot, and somebody got rammed. It's terrible. But it's like, it's your fault. Charleston. It's, you know, it's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Unite the right. Like, I'm responsible for Unite the Right. They cram it down your throat 24/7 out of one incident. And then they do these mass killings to go to Sutherland Springs, wipe out a whole church, try to wipe out a church, and 2 church shootings by liberals here in Texas. Then in Nashville, where I'm from, and then in Milwaukee, it's like a weekly occurrence several times a year. These crazy, they go to college, they get all riled up, and they have to kill us. This is the United States of America. It's supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, and they're killing us. And it's with impunity. And then Charlie Kirk was a divisive figure, blah, blah, blah. Maligning him. No respect. You know, they gloat. These are sick, disturbed people. I feel bad when anybody dies. You know, the Bible talks about this, is do not gloat over the death of anybody, or the wicked even. Don't do it. We're all mortal. It's disgusting. It's distasteful. And they're going to get all these people celebrating the death of Rush Limbaugh or any conservative that dies. Now, Charlie Kirk. I mean, celebrate. This guy got a father of 2 little kids, small children, got shot through the neck, and the MSNBC thinks it's a good thing, apparently, the way they're spinning it. It's sick. Tired of it. I just can't take it anymore. That's why I'm weeping. It's just, you know, when is it going to end? When are these people going to stop censoring us, silencing us, persecuting us, and killing us? When is it going to end? We need to put an end to this. I think the FCC should just take away CNN and MSNBC's license to. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're inciting people to kill us. YouTube going around silencing anybody that has a concern. Twitter did it until Elon Musk took over. I'm tired of all the hate from the left, the censorship, the killing. We just can't take it anymore, and we need to stop it. They're always trying to ostracize us and demonize our country. That's what all this historical revisionism, this is what it leads to. Calling us Nazis all the time. One of our guys killed like that. It's just, I've had enough. I've had enough of radical Muslims, and I've had enough of all these leftist, secular, atheist, progressives, the Democrat Party. I've had enough of it. And we don't need more violence. We need to hold these people accountable. It's like you're gonna incite violence, CNN, MSNBC, all these university college professors. You're gonna be held accountable. You're gonna be held accountable. Like, we had that woman, the Ukrainian woman, got stabbed in the neck and killed, just sitting there, coming home. She's a working woman. Comes home late at night for a long day at work and gets stabbed multiple times in the neck, bleeds out on the floor. They don't even want to report it because it doesn't. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of the left's narratives. I'm tired of it. The whole media. The left-wing media, the university system needs to go. The left-wing media, it needs to go. It's like we've had enough of this crap. We're not taking it anymore. That's all when it comes down to it, that's all CNN and MSNBC and all these university professors do, is incite hatred and violence, and it's got to stop. Can't even have civil conversations. Want to try to kill President Trump. They're in on it, you know. Just think about this. CNN, I was watching CNN. We have a policy. We don't air Trump rallies because he's a liar and we're a newscast. Give me a break. News program. And then why were they covering the Butler, Pennsylvania, if that was their stated policy? Probably because the Secret Service and the FBI told them, oh, you're going to You're going to want to show this rally. You need to carry this because they wanted to show President Trump's head blow up live on TV. That's why. We just can't take this anymore. It's unacceptable. All this left-wing extremism. And I was talking to one of my friends about it. It's like, what about Maxine Waters? If you see them pumping gas, you get in their face and you yell at them. If you see them getting groceries, you stop them and start screaming at them. That's unacceptable. I don't hate liberals. I mean, what they do is it's got to stop. They hate us. They're killing us. It's not reciprocal. I don't hate anybody. I hate destructive ideologies like radicalism and progressivism. It's destructive. It's systems of oppression. They hate us. And they want to kill us. They are killing us. And then Barack Hussein Obama. What's wrong with these people? Obama, it's Thanksgiving. Make sure you get in grandma's face and start telling her what for and why not about how, Republicans are bad. You can't sit down with your family in peace without these Democrats wanting you to yell at get in grandma's face. That's what Barack Hussein Obama wants you to do. Get in grandma's face, you're slicing the turkey, you start yelling at her about politics. We got to stop this nonsense. These are sick, twisted, evil people, and they're getting people killed. And, they've been, like I said, they're always going after me, trying to destroy my life just because you're a conservative Trump supporter. Lost everything. It's supposed to be a United States of America. We're supposed to be a free country. Is this a free country? And you say, oh, well, it's dangerous. It's dangerous, it's deadly, and that's not what education is about. I got a doctorate. I value education. And it's got to stop because they're tearing this country apart. They're a bunch of Marxists, and they're getting people killed. And it's got to stop. And I hope that he's a good guy. It's so heartbreaking. I had a feeling he wasn't going to make it. They're saying, oh, he's in a critical condition. It's like, no, unfortunately, I was right. So we have to stop this. And we have to make sure that Charlie Kirk's death is not in vain. And we have to take constructive steps. I'm serious. Let's close down CNN and MSNBC. They murdered Charlie Kirk as far as I'm concerned. These professors, getting our brainwashing our kids, riling them up. We got to revoke their accreditation. It's got to stop. That's achieving the value of education. Why is that accredited? All this nonsense. Gender studies and interpretive dance degrees, all this crap degrees. You spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in crap education. And, I was talking to, I need to close with this, but Rush Limbaugh, they're gloating over the death of Roe. These are sick, twisted people. I don't know. I can't think that way. Happy that anybody dies. Cause we're all mortal. It's demonic. But Rush Limbaugh was talking about, he's like, I used to golf with these guys 30 years ago. They're all, you really told it to them on your radio show. You go, Rush. And then it's like 20, 30 years later, and it's like, Rush, you don't really believe that stuff in the radio. Come on, And it's like, Rush is like, what happened to these people, my golfing buddies? He said, I'll tell you what happened to them. They sent their kids to good schools. The kids came back woke. And, they converted their parents into wokeism. The woke mind virus. God bless Elon Musk for saying we have to destroy the mind. We have to destroy the woke mind virus before the woke mind virus destroys us. And it's destroying us. And we need to say enough is enough and put an end to this. Because people are getting killed by, where will it end? Death camps. That's where it's going to end. We got to, we can't let this go on. It's time to stop the madness, and we have to hold these people accountable. I'm serious. No accreditation for these radical left-wing schools. It's just crap degrees anyway. We should, FCC. I mean, some of these things these reporters said, so-called reporters and correspondents said about Charlie, gloating over his death, distasteful remarks. That's why it happened. It's got to stop. We got to hold these people accountable and stop it. They're always demonizing and blaming us for everything. Like I said, Charleston, South Carolina. Or people talking about tiki torch, or the Koch brothers, all this crap they talk about all the time on the left. It's like, who are the Koch brothers? They turn out being liberals anyway. They're just obsessing about, the Koch brothers this, Koch brothers that. What are they talking about? Oh, tiki torches. It's like, what are you guys talking about? They have these fever dreams about how they think conservative people are. Never met where, when they talk to one, it's like Charlie Kirk start yelling and screaming at them. We're subjected to their crappy opinions all the time because you can't get away from it because they control everything. That's got to end. That has got to end. We just can't have this monolithic leftism anymore. It's got to be torn down and destroyed to preserve freedom, security, and safety. The woke mind virus has got to be destroyed. This whole edifice of left-wingism, it's got to be destroyed. We've got to root it all out and destroy it. They've gone too far this time. We've had enough. It's only the grace of God that preserved President Trump from these liberal progressives. Don't give me that Thomas Crooks did that by himself crap. Spare me. Don't insult my intelligence. We need to start taking actions. I mean, Trump should just start arresting people for everything that happened the past 4 years. We need to stop playing games. And the Republican Party's brought us to this place. Because they just want to play, Democrats play hardball, the Republicans want to play patty cake. And then Trump comes into power. Oh my goodness, you're actually going to implement a conservative agenda? Whoa, you're going to push back on leftism? We can't have that. That's not the way we do things in this town. Let's throw him in jail. Let's shoot him in the head. Democrats could not have stolen the 2020 election without Republican help. And that whole system has got to be, we need to clean our own house up too. Get rid of all the Bushes, the McCains, the Cheneys. Go join, you assholes. Go join the Democrat Party. We don't want you. Get out of our party. Get out. Look where you've brought us. So it's time to take these things very seriously and take concrete action to stop this. I hope people this should be a wake up call and a turning point. I really hope it is. Last night I was wondering about people who do the same kind of work that Charlie Kirk does, and that would be Steve Crowder. He's the only person that's really effective at, it's like prove me wrong, right? So he puts a table up and just argues with liberals. And like I said, these liberals are very aggressive. So Steve Crowder posted something before it was announced that Charlie Kirk had died, and he's very passionate, upset because he does the same thing as effectively, or almost as good as Charlie Kirk. So his take on it was, it's like, we need to lower the temperature on both sides, and he goes, what both sides? What both sides? It's the left that's coming to killing us. And he was mentioning Ferguson, and when I was in my doctoral program, one of these visiting professors was like celebrating, and remember CNN, it was Cuomo and Lemon, Don Lemon, whatever his name is. He's like, this is what patriotism looks like. Yeah, this is democracy in action, going around burning a whole city down. They engage in violence, and it's celebrated. And then I was thinking a couple of things. He said, one of the things I was thinking about that he said was, just 4 years ago, the opinions that Charlie Kirk espouses would not even be seen as controversial, like support of Israel and other things. They weren't even controversial, and now they're going to shoot him in the neck for it. And I was thinking, this is very Orwellian, because if you read 1984, it's like you have to check the news every day to see what opinion you're allowed to have. You don't want to get arrested, because what you say, what you were allowed to believe or say last week could be different from this week. You could go to jail. The government was saying one thing last week, but this week, if you say what the government was saying, so you had to check the papers, check the news, make sure. It's like, what party line am I supposed to espouse this week? It's hard to keep up with. I don't want to make a mistake and go in front of the firing squad because I said what the government was mandating 3 weeks ago. But now and then it all disappears, right? Barack Hussein Obama, he's for traditional marriage, and then he's for gay marriage. So they'll shoot you through the neck for believing a marriage should only be between one man and one woman. They'll kill you for that now. And the Democrats will. They will kill you. That's one of the reasons why they killed Charlie Kirk. And the other thing I was thinking about is like, they're espousing violence, against us. It's like, well, how long is this coming? I was really, really disturbed by, I think it's September 22, around that time, speech at Liberty Hall in Pennsylvania. This is Joe Biden's infamous Darth Sidious speech, ultra MAGA. We have to it's a threat to democracy. And, just thinking about that speech, it's like a president of the United States basically inciting violence against the opposition party. And saying, oh, it's like, you should never do that. And he did it. And the other thing is, it's like, man, this guy just speaks gibberish half the time. And here he is giving an articulate, Biden can't even, not only can he not put sentences together half the time, he can't even articulate words. But here he is giving eloquently for him, giving a coherent speech about how that, Republicans are a threat to democracy. Conservatives have a tendency to hear these things, and it's like, well, that's crazy. Nobody's going to believe that, but people do believe it. And now we're getting killed. They're using this inflammatory rhetoric all the time, and people are getting killed. They're murdering us for it. And like I said, I've been censored. And, Google, YouTube's in hot pursuit, wherever I do a posting, they're after me. Running their, deplatforming, canceling me, running their algorithms against me, shadow banning me, just hot pursuit from it's the FBI, turns out, according to Twitter files. They don't want you to say the wrong things, or express opinions. So this is very dangerous. And what do? This. Oh, you don't want to put up a table and talk to people. They want to. This is very, very, very bad. What's happening? Murdering you for expressing an opinion, for asking questions, for trying to encourage debate and dialogue will get you killed by Democrats, the United States of America. It's the Democrat Party. It's the Democrat Party. Inflammatory rhetoric. And how far does this go back? I remember I come back from Iraq. This is 2003. For this long as this is Janet Napolitano. And, come back from Iraq, you're all messed up physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally. You go do that for your country. And then Janet Napolitano is like, the biggest number one security threat to this country is, veterans returning from war. It's like, well, you sent us over there. And then, now you're going to say it's like, why? Well, they're patriotic. It's crazy. That's how they are. Christopher Wray's FBI. The biggest threat is white Christian nationalists. Now they're, like I said, we need to take these things very seriously when they say things like that. And secondly, we need to realize that we just dismiss it. Until now, it's like conservatives just dismiss it. Oh yeah, right. Ha ha ha. They're so absurd. That's ridiculous. People believe MSNBC. People believe CNN. And people are getting killed because of what they say on these. And they believe they're university professors. They believe it, and they're incited to commit violence, and it's got to end. We just laugh it off, and it's like, we believe in free speech. They use these. You're a racist. You're a homophobe, and and we know we're not. We think it's absurd. They believe it. Young people believe this nonsense, this hogwash. They believe it. Joe Biden said Republicans, MAGA people, are a threat to democracy. They report that on CNN and MSNBC. They fired somebody for making some inflammatory remarks on MSNBC. But a lot of the things they've been reporting about the Charlie Kirk assassination have been shocking and offensive. So it's time. We need to take these things seriously. It's time for change, and we can't have it anymore. They have these huge platforms, the university system. I mean, not all people have critical thinking skills. They don't. I mean, it's getting a little bit better than it used to be. People think it's the news. It's CNN. It used to stand for Cable News Network. It's the news. And they're reporting that, evangelicals and white people are, they're domestic extremists and a threat to democracy. It's not. I mean, if you turn that in the news, you see it's not surprising that people would get killed, or that motivate people to kill people. And I was listening to, we're talking about FCC, and they give these benefits. Oh, this is a news program. FCC is going to give you a license. So you have all this exposure to inform people, and they're getting people killed. They're getting people killed. CNN, MSNBC, and our university professors, they're not serving the public. So why do they give all these benefits? They serve the public. This is not serving the public interest. Inciting fear and hatred and inciting people to go and shoot young fathers to the neck is not serving the public interest. Where does it go from here? Either we stop these people. Like I said, we need to take, FCC needs to revoke their licenses. We need to identify these professors who are saying these things. They need to be fired. They're a danger to the public. They are. These politicized schools need to have their accreditation revoked. We can't play games. This is a life and death struggle now. I mean, it's crazy. I'm going to sit at the table. I'm a conservative. Prove me wrong. And they blow your brains out because their professors instill so much hatred and fear in them. And they think that the violence is, well, if they are Nazis, isn't violence a legitimate, that's what they're trying to say. That's what Newsmedia is trying to say. If you believe in, if you're a traditional Republican, if you got conservative values, you're a Nazi. Well, that means you're the greatest, how it's perceived, the greatest evil that the world has ever known. Tom Holland was talking about how, it's like Christianity has lost, to a certain extent, its influence in the world, but they're still there. And it's like, well, the concept of the devil and Satan has been replaced, is what Tom Holland says, by the idea of the Nazis. The Nazis, that's this, people don't believe in the devil or evil anymore, but that concept has been replaced by, Adolf Hitler is the devil, and Nazis. Nazism's terrible. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying, when they call you that, when they call you that, what that means, that you're the greatest. We should not be surprised that when we're called a threat to democracy, or Nazis, or homophobes, transphobes, sexist, racist, blah blah blah. If they tell people this is what we are, and people believe it, and they can't. They have cry rooms for these people. Okay, why do you believe in Marxism? I need to go. I need a safe space in the cry room. You question my my beliefs. 23, 24, 25-year-old adults going to a cry room in universities because they're exposed to a different opinion. They might have to think through what they believe and provide analysis and responses and rebuttals. They have to have, adults have to be coddled to have a cry room. And now that type of behavior is getting people killed. It's got to end. We cannot, this status quo of them inciting violence and us just hoping that, against us and just hoping that it doesn't happen. It is happening. This is a celebrity. What about the kids these crazy Democrats killed in the Catholic churches a few days ago, or in the Sutherland Springs Church, or up in, all these crazy libtards going into Presbyterian school, killing our kids. We have to have change, and we have to hold these people accountable. And there has to be consequences. There has to be consequences. If you espouse, like the Democrat Party's been doing this for 40 years, you engage in this inflammatory rhetoric that, inspires violence. Just like this judge that released that man that stabbed that woman in the neck, she needs to be held. They should take action against her for manslaughter. She knew this man was a dangerous person, a threat to the public, and she let him out there to kill this innocent woman. Had no idea, didn't do anything wrong, just came home from work, sit down, minding. But that doesn't fit the narrative. Zero stories on CNN about that. And then we report on Charlie Kirk, all these disparaging remarks about him by people aren't, 1% the man he was. So let's pray about this situation. Yes, and that's another thing. These crazy, they're communists, they're atheists. Oh, when we had the church shooting, thoughts and prayers. We don't need to pray. How dare, they're anti-Christ. Don't you see how evil these people are? They're anti-Christ, they're anti-God. They're murderers. We don't need thoughts and prayers. Jan Psaki and others. We do need thoughts and prayers, but we also need decisive action. Follow it up with decisive action. Accountability. We need to rein these maniacs in so they stop inciting violence and getting people killed. It's got to stop. Revoke FCC licenses, revoke accreditation, and hold these people accountable. We got to clean up our academic system. I was thinking about, you might have had a little leftist tilt, but since, I guess, the 1960s generation, it wasn't really about, you went to get a higher education, it wasn't about politics the way, it wasn't politicized the way it is now. You know, and now they're going after people are, well, they're in the social sciences, what do you expect? Now they're in the hard sciences, you know. Oh, this clinical study that doesn't reflect the priorities of the Democrat Party. Oh, we're gonna, you know, you can't publish that. You know, tainting science. So yeah, we have to change things. This needs to be a turning point for our country. So we just can't let Charlie Kirk die in vain. We have to change things so that, you know, this is, what is it? What did Wilson say? Was it him? Or we're going to make the world safe for democracy. America's not safe for democracy. You engage in democracy, you'll get shot in the neck by a Democrat. And then, oh no, it's not both sides. So hopefully, these people like Steve Crowder, you can't back down. You can't back down. We can't give into this. So, yes, pray, but let's have decisive action as well. Things have got to change.